So welcome to my review of Detroit Become Human. This is a very anticipated game by Quantic Dream, published by Sony. And I've been following its progress for the last few E3s. Originally this game was a demo, and they decided to make it into a fully fledged experience. Now, I'm coming off the background that I never played Heavy Rain, I never played Beyond Two Souls, but I heard so many great things about them. And to be honest with you, it was kind of neat walking into this game completely fresh, not knowing what to expect. And I think when I started playing the game, I was like, oh, this is not an action game at all. This is not that style of game. This is an exploration, decision-making style of game. This is about making decisions in the game, and every single decision you make is very, very important and affects the outcome of the overall story, never mind all the different scenarios within. Now, the one thing I want to say here is this is a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to ruin any of the story. I wouldn't ever want to do that because there's some incredible plot twists in here, and you do them all to yourself. It's not that the game just plays a certain way. You affect the outcome of your characters and your world by your decisions. So yeah, every single thing you do is very, very important. And that's what I learned right away in the world of Detroit 2038 with a company called CyberLife that has developed artificial intelligence androids, robots that are incredible, that have put themselves into every single aspect of human society to help humanity, to help companies, to help families, raise children, clean houses, clean the streets, all of these things. But in the end of the day, it's a bit like slavery for these androids. And what the story is about, the basics, it's about 3 different androids, all from different paths, all working within this story. I'm really trying hard not to spoil a damn thing. I wouldn't want to, because there's some incredible cameos by some really awesome actors that I really respect from my old sci-fi days that have shown up in this story, and I don't want to ruin any of that. But it's about 3 different characters, 3 different androids going through this story and what they are dealing with and the decisions that they have to make all the time and the decisions that you have to make for them. And this is a real video game about morality with yourself, with the characters. Do you side with the characters? Do you not side with the characters? There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of emotion. I want to say I just finished the game and I felt so many things when I was done. My wife was stunned. I was stunned, and I was like, oh my God. And here's the thing. I went through the entire game and I made some kind of good decisions, and I made some terrible ones. And here's the thing, when you make bad decisions in the game, they will haunt you later on in the game. They will come to haunt you. And these ones really did later on for me. And I was so perturbed by some of the choices that I made. And here's the thing, I'm so stupid. I finished the game and I found out that you can go back and change those choices that you make. But in a way, I'm glad that I didn't, and I didn't know how to do that in the game. I was just playing it all the way through because I had to live with those choices. And some of them were just like, I was shaking my head at myself going, why did I do that? Why did I do that? You know, and I'm not going to say what happened so many times, but the really neat thing, it's like a choose your own adventure style of game. This is not a run and gun game. It's not an action game per se. It really is choose your own adventure. So for one path, I'm not going to talk about the story, this certain character has to investigate the story and investigate certain things that are happening within. And it's all about his decisions, and you can really change the outcome. I can't say that enough. So at some point you can walk into a playfield and scan the entire room. You can do this with all the characters. You can always scan your environments and see certain clues or certain items that you need to get. So certain things you need to do before certain other things happen. But here's the thing. You can just go straight to a destination and end it all. And you didn't explore. Those things you didn't explore may hinder you going forward a little bit more. So when a certain scenario is finished, we'll call it a chapter, it'll show you the entire path of all the decisions you could have made throughout the entire scenario and where you chose to go and all the branching story that you didn't do. And my God, there was certain moments when I was like, I went this direction, and there was like 3 other directions I could have gone that were huge in scope and story. And I beat myself up about it so much. I was like, and my wife was like, oh my God, we screwed up. You could have done all of this and this wouldn't have happened. And I'm like, I know. And it was really, I felt the weight of this game. And that's the one thing I will say. Now, let's just talk about the graphics. The graphics are stunning. They are AAA graphics. A lot of money went into the development of this game. I also want to say that the acting and the motion capture is second to none. The environments, the world setting, it's kind of like a Blade Runner-esque world. A very, as I say, 2038. It's fully imagined and it is wonderful to explore. My main little gripe I have is it's not as much exploration as I would like. It's not obviously it's not open world, and I'm not saying I would have wanted that, but sometimes it just feels like you have this amount of space to go within and maybe another room or two. And that's it. I understand for loading stuff and all that, they want to keep it just flowing and streaming. But I would have liked a little bit more exploration going on in there. That's one of my gripes, but it's not a terrible one, but it is one, you have a small amount of exploration that you can do. And sometimes the camera can kind of screw you up. You think you're going this direction and you'll bump into a wall, or, the camera will realign. It feels a little bit, and you can change the camera angle and stuff like that, but it feels just kind of a little, as I say, it's a small kind of world setting, and sometimes you can get screwed up with the camera going around. But honestly, that being said, is it worth the price of a full game? Is it worth it? Like, is it a video game in Canada is $79.99? Well, I'll say this. I think my first playthrough of the game was around 10 hours. I don't have an actual count, but in looking at the clock a little bit, I think it's the 8 to 10 hour mark, going through the entire game without changing any scenario. But for people like myself, I have to go back and I have to see the other scenarios you can do. I wish I did that to begin with. I'm kind of glad I didn't, and I would recommend for anybody playing the game, don't change any of that first. Go through the entire game, make wrong decisions, and live with them, because you have to live with them. I'm still living with mine. I was like, I can't tell you enough that I was shaking my head. I was like, oh my God, what the hell did I do there? I was an idiot. What a terrible moral choice that affected something. It's morality from so many different ways. Can't say that enough. But it's a very heavy game in a lot of ways. But I honestly, it's hard to recommend the game as a full price game. It's $40, something like that. I think it's completely worth it. I think a definite rental or borrowing from a friend, absolutely. You have to experience this game because it's a unique experience, and that's what it's all about. It's not, as I said to begin with, it's not a run and gun style of game. It's an exploration game where you affect the outcome of the entire game. And it's intriguing. The story kept me gripped from the very beginning to the very end. You'll be looking at the screen at times and cringing and going, oh no, my God, that didn't happen. Or, oh no, the character's thinking this. Or, how can I change this? Oh no, I didn't change it. And it's all that experience all the way through. And I can really say, I would love to shake the hands of each person that worked on this game, because I thought it was marvelous and I thought it was incredible, and the work of some serious geniuses at times. I felt so interacted into the story. And let me say, for some kind of interactive moments within, say there's a fight sequence between two characters, between a good guy and a bad guy, we'll just say, to not kind of ruin anything there. There's a lot of button pressing. You'll press the X button, you'll press the circle button, the triangle button. They're QuickTime events. The game is about QuickTime events throughout this entire thing. And as I say, you will not get a game over and it's all over, you're finished. The game will always progress, and it will just give you some bad outcomes to your characters if you do some kind of crazy decisions. But it is really a QTE style of game. And to be honest with you, I really like that. I played so many action games coming off God of War, which was a phenomenal action game, into this was like a breath of fresh air. And it was very easy. I'll say that this is not a hard game. If you just want to kind of relax into a story, this is the right way to do it. You just kind of lay up and interact with your environments. A lot of half circle motions to interact with certain puzzles and certain elements within. And it's not too taxing on you. There's certain times during action sequences you'll be pressing a lot of different button combinations, but nothing that will break you. Some of this stuff would be like circle button X, circle button X. Not too bad. You can get through that really easy. I didn't know what to expect walking into this game, and I've walked out the other side, and yeah, I'm quite blown away with it. I thought the story was mesmerizing, and I've got to go and play some Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. I've never experienced those games, but playing this style of game now makes me really want to go and see what I've been missing in other style of games like that. And I do recommend the game, as I say, as a rental or something like that, or wait for the price to come down a little bit. I think it's a wonderful game, but for a full price game, my God, it's a very short experience, but you can go back and play it over and over again to justify that and get quite a few more hours with it. And the branching story paths, I think they would take you so many playthroughs to see them all and to experience all the good and bad decisions you can do within. But anyways, guys, I had a wonderful time with this game. I'm absolutely going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. A wonderful experience. So anyways, guys, until next time.